Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Custom Apparel Startups Podcast. This is Mark Stevenson.
And this is Mark Vila. And today we're going to talk about the best referral marketing strategies for the custom t-shirt business.
Because if we titled the episode like the third best, or some pretty good strategies,
decent,
you get significantly fewer listeners.
Yeah, these are the best, though.
They're the best ones.
For various reasons. One, out of authority, because we're the ones with microphones.
I like
two, and two, at it realistically, we talked to tons of custom apparel owners over many, many years combined between the two of us, 20-something years of experience.
Yeah.
In the industry. And when we talk to people all the time, we just ask them, how do you get business? What do you do? And we just talk about that. And referrals is almost always the first answer.
Yes.
For most people.
Yeah.
Especially just growing from their customers and things like that. So there's tons of ways to do some great marketing, but referral is always the first thing you should just go to, assuming you're not like just an internet business or something.
Yeah. Or if you're terrible at it, at making custom t-shirts,
you're terrible at everything.
But just in case you don't know, a referral is when someone recommends you or your business, right? Mm-hmm. So if I was looking for marketing services, I might say, hey, you should talk to my friend Mark Vila. He's in marketing. If I was looking for an embroidery machine, I said, you know what? I have never heard of a better embroidery machine than the Avance. You should look up the people at ColDesi. So that's a referral. That was me giving a couple of referrals. And referral marketing is just reaching out to people in general systematically in order to generate more of those kinds of suggestions to do business with you.
Yep. And it's great because referrals are just it's a natural human thing to do. There's Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes.
You familiar?
Yes.
What book am I thinking of? Not Blink. Tribes.
Man, I don't remember. He's got 3 books. You should just read them all. You'll find it in there. I know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm good. I'm going to Google it while we're talking here for a moment. I think it might have been Tipping Point.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's Tipping Point, but Malcolm Gladwell has some great books. But one of the things he talks about it, the reason why I bring it up, is just talking about certain people, many people, most of us feel inclined to share experiences, things that we've done, tell people things that we like, recommend things. Every single day of your life, you're probably recommended something from a friend, right? A TV show, this delicious pineapple soda that I recommended to Mark just moments ago.
Yes, which I think I actually have in my fridge now.
So all day, every day, people like to recommend things. Why? It just feels good. I think that's the big thing, is that if you saw a funny TV show and you have a friend who likes funny TV shows and you tell them, and then they watched it, and then they call you up and say, I watched that show. It was so funny. Thanks for the referral. We were belly aching all night watching it. It feels so good.
Really is funny the way people get personally invested in whether or not you take them up on that referral.
Yeah.
Like somebody asked you, hey, do you know anybody that does AC? I've got a guy, right? And you've got to use him. He's great.
Yeah.
Let me give you his name and number. I'm going to text him and let him know that you're going to call. And because you get to be helpful, you get to, and it also, I guess it brings you up a little bit, like in your personal stature when you give a referral, like you're becoming a source of information, a source of, your friends and family or the people that you meet being more successful or happy about something that they did. And there's a lot behind that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere. One of Christmas time, right? People love giving and getting gifts. I just love it. And a referral is very similar to that, giving a gift of knowledge. So people love to give, people love to share information and ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. And what better way for your business to take I don't want to say take advantage, because that sounds negative, but whatever, take advantage of that natural human inclination by helping to facilitate getting more referrals towards your business, because you do a good job, because people will like you, because you want to grow your business. And today is all about strategies to make that happen.
And I think the first strategy is probably, it's definitely the most common, because all the examples that we gave are based on word of mouth. Mm-hmm. Right. I saw something, I tell Mark sees, drink something and he suggests it to me, that's basically word of mouth. So that pineapple flavored water concoction that Mark Vila is drinking just expanded their potential audience by, still sounds good. They just expanded their potential audience through Mark Vila's referral. So, that is, word of mouth is the most common way that it happens. The trick is how do you get people to do that?
Yeah. So how do you naturally, and what I think about this first one, generating word of mouth, almost everything below this is more ways of generating word of mouth, right?
Yeah,
almost
really
the whole thing is. But there's some key things you can do to help grow and facilitate that word of mouth being generated. So we have a few good things, and one of them I know is Mark always talks about labeling your shirts, wearing your work.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about it again.
Yes, that's why I said it. So you would.
I'm going to tell the same story again. A long time ago, we used to do in-person kind of trade shows at the ColDesi headquarters. And, we'd have people in, we'd have classes, and I gave the marketing classes and or seminars. And the first question I would always ask is, how do you get your business? And the answer is always word of mouth. And I look around the room and says, okay, how many people of you are wearing the name of your business on your shirt right now? And the answer was basically zero.
Yeah, it'd be like one, maybe, if there was 6 people in the class, maybe one.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just, so how do you generate word of mouth? I mean, first of all, you have to let people know to easily discover what you do. And that is, one of the things that you can do is label your shirts that you sell and label the shirts that you wear.
Right. So a simple way to generate word of mouth is by putting your logo on your shirt. Step one, right? And if you go to a party, if you go to an event, if you go to a store, anything like that, you never know when the person behind you in line is going to say, "You make t-shirts, right? Yeah. I have a friend." And then you talk about it, and the next thing you know, that word of mouth is being created. That person you saw online now is texting their friend, a picture of your logo they just took off your t-shirt or something like that and said, "I just met a guy," so it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. I actually know somebody that sells kind of like benefits insurance, and he has a shirt that says, "I'm a nice guy. I answer questions about insurance." And that's the shirt that he wears. It doesn't have his brand on it. Just I answer these questions. He gets people that stop him all the time.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So. And then you said, label the shirts that you give out. And this is one thing that I feel like I'm saying every day is you put a label on the shirt, because the person ordering the shirts, if it's for a group, is not going to tell every single person, "Here's your shirt, we got it from here. Here's your shirt, we got it from here." They're not going to say that. The other thing is oftentimes shirts are either consistently worn, like every day to work, or school uniform, or they're worn once for an event, like a marathon, or a walkathon or something like that. And then they're put in a drawer as like a t-shirt to, paint in or something like that, gardening shirt. But that label exists the whole time that shirt exists before it goes into, a landfill or something like that.
Right.
And at any point in time, someone says, "Oh, I could use a custom T-shirt," and they go into that junk T-shirt drawer. I remember seeing, and they pick it up, and there's your card, and it helps to facilitate further that word of mouth of people knowing where the shirt came from and being able to easily find that information.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's one of the differentiators most of the time when you buy a wholesale T-shirt, like from Coleman and Company. All of the shirts that we use for sampling and all the shirts that we test all have tearaway labels. So they're actually designed for you to print on them, tear the label away, and put your own label right there. So they're looking for a sign. And if you don't want to do that, you could always work something out with your customers where it has the name of your business somewhere on the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you print it down in the bottom or in the back or across the top of the back of the collar or something. These are ways that, because in order to generate word of mouth, that means you have to get the word out. And one of the ways to do that is with labeling.
Right. And then you had made a note here of kind of be the I met this person the other day that does this.
Yeah, be the guy. So in that Malcolm Gladwell book, he kind of breaks down different kinds of people that do referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of the pyramid is the connector. And everybody knows someone that they go to. It's one person that if you need a recommendation on something, you go ask this guy. So, if you want to be the person that you want to be the person that comes to mind when those connectors are talking to everybody that they know, which is usually hundreds of people.
Right. And that actually is exactly one of the type of people in that book, Tipping Point. He talks about those connectors, those people who naturally spread ideas. So I think if you meet a connector, you definitely have to make sure that they're connecting you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Right. I mean, make it an effort. Be the guy. I mean, if you want your friends and family and everyone everyone that you meet, that hears something about getting something customized or getting a custom shirt done or anything like that, you want to be the one on the other end of, I know a guy.
Yeah, and that's great. And then the last bit to kind of sum this section up, and then we'll move on to a lot more ways to generate word of mouth and referrals. But one is just asking people to talk about you.
Yes.
That's as simple as that. I think one of the most effective ways in business that is, it's rarely talked about, but if you get into real sales books, they'll talk about it. And in sales books, they say, how do you make a sale? I mean, ask for the sale.
Yeah.
Will you buy this today? Is like one of the keys in selling. It's also one of the keys in referrals. I met a gentleman the other day, and we were talking about business and things like that. And I kind of had a conversation. I know you're not in the industry I work in, but you probably know people. I'd love to just share my information with you. And if you know somebody, I'd love for you to refer. That'd be cool. And the guy was, send it to me, sure. Like, I don't know if I know anybody in that industry, but if I do, it'd be cool to know to have somebody to refer to, because in my industry, people ask me for referrals all the time. And sometimes I just have to say, I don't know,
Yeah.
So be sure you just tell your friends and your family and people like that, hey, please, if you hear a conversation about custom T-shirts or about customizing anything, remember I do it. Keep me on the front of your mind. I'm giving you a couple easy ways to do it. Here's my website. I'm going to text you a picture of my business card, put it in your favorites, in your pictures, so you can pull it up easy, and text it to someone you might meet, something like that.
Yeah. And if you want to take it to another level, and this is a sales technique that I used to use back when I was selling, and that is, if I gave you 5 of my business cards, would you hand those to people that you think might be interested in a custom T-shirt? So it's a little bit more salesy than just asking for a direct referral, but you're basically you're getting them to do some kind of a small commitment.
Right. And it's also, you find the right people to do all this stuff.
Yeah,
too,
they'll do
right?
that. Yeah.
You have the timid neighbor who barely says hi and comes out of the house once a month. I mean, you could tell that person for sure, right? But if you have the neighbor that constantly is saying hi to everybody, always like, oh yeah, you need one of a better axe. So and so down the road has a better axe. I'll go talk to him. That person, you need to go up to them and say, can I give you 5 business cards?
And
Right?
I was on my walk this morning, and I saw some guy that was also walking, and he stopped to talk to one of the landscapers out in front of somebody's property, and I could see him for about 10 minutes during my walk, and he was still talking to him. That guy, you want to give him your cards.
Yes,
because he does that to everybody. It's not just a landscaper. Everywhere that guy goes, he has a 10-minute conversation. All right, so
that landscaper just wanted to finish the job before.
Yeah, that's really it. Let's move on to kind of the next tip, which is to develop a friends and family plan. Right, so we've talked about word of mouth and how to encourage that, and that kind of extends into a little bit more specifically friends and family. There's a reason that when I started thinking about this, the first thing I thought of, it's a friends and family plan. And that's because cell phone companies and others have been doing that for decades. Literally 2 days after they had cell phones that were easily available, they came up with a friends and family plan.
Yeah. And what might that look like?
So the idea is just like, if you've got kids and you get them cell phones, everybody, when you go into the cell phone store, that person is always saying, okay, you want a phone? Great. Are you part of a network? Do you have kids? Do you have a spouse? Because I can bundle all these plans together, to give you a better rate. And I'm not suggesting that you bundle everything together to sell something for cheaper here, but it does show you kind of the power of taking advantage of all, or using your friends and family. I'm trying to figure out a way.
Yeah, it's like network within a network. Yeah, like a network within a network, right? Yeah. Of people, right? So no, I think that's great. And then also, I imagine that it also falls into giving discounts per se to folks that are related within that, right? So if you have close friends and family, and you are looking for them to kind of help expand your network, you could do things like, listen, if you know anybody that you want to refer me, because you're my family member, just let them know. Say, hey, so-and-so sent me. They said I can get 10% off.
Yeah.
And you could kind of build in a little, friends and family discount. And you know what? The bundling thing is interesting, right? Because if you're doing work for somebody in a little corporate office, and they want to get some polos and some hats done for their business, right? Like a mortgage company or an insurance company, and maybe they just have 3 employees and they want like 15, 20 shirts. It's a nice little order. You'll take it. You'd love for it to be 100. So there is something to be said within that, to say, hey, by the way, like there's a bunch of people in this building. I don't know if you know anybody else who might be interested in buying these, but if you can get another company in here to do it, I can take 10% off everybody's.
Yeah.
And if we break 100 shirts, I'll give you 15% off.
Right.
And you might
I like that.
Yeah. And what I love about just saying that stuff is, oftentimes you'll get, okay, thanks, and that's the end of it. Right. But if you say it often enough, you're going to get, hold on, pick up the phone. Hey, yeah, t-shirt ladies here. You said you wanted some stuff too, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to look better than you. All right. Yeah. 10% off. Okay. She'll come by after. All right. Suite 202, stop by there, talk to Larry over there, and they want to get hooked up too.
Yeah.
And you're building like you're asking for them to access their network to help give a discount to everybody.
And you know, the other part of the friends and family plan thing is a little bit more specific, and that is to kind of follow the, not completely, but follow the idea behind multi-level marketing, right?
Okay.
So if you've ever done or participated in an MLM, one of the first things they do is they give you a sheet with a bunch of blank lines on it and say, you know, just write down all of the people that you think you could connect with that would be interested in whatever this stuff that I'm selling is. Right. So you go, you start with your brother, your sister, your neighbor. You start with the easy people, and then you start getting down to that guy that you knew on third grade that you're still attached to on Facebook. You know, so basically, you know, you're making a list of all the people who are potential referrers. And it's not like you're going to go through them systematically and ask them to buy a t-shirt. Although I don't not recommend that. You know, but you can look at them as people that know you, they're familiar with you, you know, potentially they like you, and they might be willing to recommend you just on the basis of that relationship. So this is kind of the low-hanging fruit of referral sources is, you know, I'm going to start a custom t-shirt business out of my house. I make great stuff. Hey, brother Jim, you know, here's a picture of the shirt I just made. Do me a favor, you know, are there 5 people that you can refer to my business that you know that might be interested in a custom t-shirt? You know, something like that. Just say it. Just say to all of these people on that fictitious list, hey, I've started this business. This is what I'm doing. I'd appreciate it if you hear of anybody or know of anybody that might be interested in custom apparel, that you send them to me.
Right. And I think that just the last maybe tip for this little bit is just ties up everything you said to me is every time I not just meet somebody, but everybody who's within your network and everybody that you connect with that's within their network needs to know what you do. All of them need to know. So make sure all your friends know, just to be sure, you know, especially when you get started. It's definitely can be scary at first for some folks. Oh gosh, I don't want to tell people. What if I fail? You know, I mean,
yeah, people are so shocked.
Yeah, but I mean, all right, you failed. I mean, I've told people I've started like 17 different things because I did, and then and like 16 of those don't exist or more, right? But it's just important to just tell folks and just, you know, leverage the friends, leverage the family, and you know, we're going to talk about referral program next, but I think a friends and family plan is a potential kind of work into a referral program, but you've got to make sure people know what you do as kind of the final tip on this.
Yeah, I like that. So, I mean, you are very familiar with starting referral programs, Mark Vila, because you've done it for Coleman and Company, et cetera, in the past. Why don't you walk us through what we're talking about?
Yeah. So a refer a friend program basically says, from the high level, is that you're going to ask people to refer you, and in return, they will be rewarded.
Okay.
That's as simple as it goes, right? If you do something for me, I will do something back for you, right? Which is a great, you know, kind of give and get type of scenario. And I think this is, so for Coleman and Company on our store, we do a coupon. So I think it's a give and get $10 coupon, right? So if you want to refer somebody in the reward points, there's a little widget on the bottom of the website. You click here for rewards. If you click there on the bottom of that widget, there's a little referral program. And if you send somebody that link, it gives them a $10 coupon. And if they use the $10 coupon, then you get emailed the $10 coupon back. So it's kind of like you get to give somebody a little something, which is great for referral. Hey, by the way, you buy this stuff, here's $10. And then if they use it, you get $10 back, so you get rewarded. So that's kind of a one example of a refer a friend program. I would also say that might not work for your business specifically. So you've got to get creative on how you do that.
Okay. So I mean,
yeah.
first of all, I love this because it's kind of like, it's not quite paying somebody for referrals, but it kind of is. And it's great for the people. It's a great motivator for the people that are doing referrals. If you get one of those connectors, I mean, you could get just a group of friends that get together and say they're just going to refer each other. And you get like 20 people that keep referring each other back and forth. And yeah, you're going to pay them the promotional stuff or, you know, give them that deal. But, you know, it's an extra 20, 40 or 60 shirts that you sold. So it's a good deal.
Yeah. So I like, so some thoughts on this would be, refer a friend and get a discount. So, by the way, thanks for buying from me. If you refer anybody else, next time you buy from me, I'll give you 10% off.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'll give you, $20 in custom apparel cash.
Yeah.
Which you can redeem for anything you want.
So this is my favorite. And it's my favorite because it encourages the person that gave you the referral to buy something else from you.
Yeah.
Right. So not only are you getting the sale from that customer that they referred, but the only way they're going to be able to collect is if they buy something more.
Yeah. Yeah. And which is great, which is a great way to, it's good for everybody. Everybody gets to save some money. And for you, it's, somebody could come to our store and take that $10 coupon and buy 2 cones of thread.
Right.
And they bought $1 and they gave us $1. Right. But it's not about one transaction that we lost some money on because they used a coupon to buy a couple cones of thread. It's about the long-term gain over this. Now that customer is a customer of ours. They may come back again and buy a bunch of thread, or they may refer somebody else, or they may get an email from us that says, hey, upgrade your embroidery machine to an Avance. And then they turn around and buy an Avance machine.
Yeah.
Right.
It actually happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that stuff is going to happen to happens to small businesses all the time. So refer a friend and get some cash or something like that. Some, custom apparel cash or something like that. You can also do, you can be more fun with it if your business is lends to that. You could say, every time you refer me somebody, I'll custom make a monogram tote bag for you.
Yeah.
Or a hat or a t-shirt or a mug, right? Or a sign, whatever it might be. And then it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Somebody refers you a piece of business. They do it. Maybe what they do, maybe your business is specifically kind of the, custom pillowcases and custom hats and tote bags and stuff like that. You're a gift business.
Yep.
So then somebody refers to you and then you send them a custom monogram. What monogram do you want on it? And they might say, I want my mom's initials on there. Or they might want it for themselves, or they might want it for a gift for somebody else.
Yeah.
What's cool about that is you put your logo inside it too. And then whoever ends up with it at the end found out where it came from.
Yeah. And all of those are great. They're great strategies. And all of this, by the way, kind of stacks up and adds to the good feelings that your customers have about your business. Right. So there's a certain amount of, the more that someone, and Mark, you've talked about this before, the more that someone says something, the more that someone refers you, the more they feel like they have to use you.
Right.
Right. So,
right.
It's almost like you're giving them a gift when you give them the referral fee or referral object or whatever it is. So now they feel kind of obligated to use that and then to continue to patronize your business.
Right. Right. So all that stuff is just, it's fun. It's interesting. It gives you something to talk about. And what's great about it is, you get to kind of be your own destiny in what you decide it is. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about it is that you can try something for a few months and see if it works. And if it doesn't, you could try something different. You could try something once. I'm going to say this to this one customer one time, see how they react.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. So besides that referral program, what's next on our list? How else do you go?
This one requires you, and so does the last one really. This one requires you to actually have a structured referral program, right? Where word of mouth, you're basically just kind of asking and getting the word out. And then if you do the friends and family, it's kind of the same thing. There's nothing official or written or structured that you need to do. Once you get into a rewards program that encourages referrals, then stuff needs to be written down. Like then it's like, if you do this, I'm going to do that. The same goes, and once you have those things in place, it's another thing that you get to market. So you can actually market your referral program on social media in addition to your primary product. So in other words, I sell custom motorcycle jackets. Hey, join the Jack's Jacket referral program, where every time you recommend somebody that buys one of my custom made motorcycle jackets, you'll get a free hat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a picture of the jacket and a picture of the hat inside Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or whatever, with the referral program at the top. You may or may not get more referrals from it. You might sell a few jackets too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because you're advertising one thing and kind of on the opposite side of that, you're promoting what you actually sell. I think that's great. I mean, using social media kind of promote a referral program is great. And it's not necessarily that hard to do, which was what I love about this. Is once you get the idea and what you want to do it, you just go out on Facebook and you tell people you do it, Instagram, whatever it might be, and you just consistently remind people.
Yeah.
Right. I follow a comedian, and at the end of every single one, he always finishes his jokes with and follow me and have your friends follow me. Yeah. Like that's like the end. Yeah. And because, his product is eyes, right? That's his product, his eyes. But he says, follow me, have your friends follow me. And I think that's similar to this, you could be showing off some apparel, a job that you're doing, something like that, some pictures of some finished goods on social media. And then at the end of that, you can kind of finish with, and by the way, check out the referral program. Or by the way, if you send somebody this video and they mention your name, then I'll give you whatever the promotion might be.
I love that. And you can also just do it softer. You could do it just like you are doing the, and what we talked about, the word of mouth in the first place. And then every time you post a picture of a t-shirt that you just made or a video of something you just did, you could just say, hey, do me a favor and, refer somebody to my store. Like share this image. And if you like it, if you know anybody that needs a custom t-shirt, send them to me. Basically doing the same thing with every social media post as you are, with your word of mouth program.
Yeah. And then kind of, I think we should tie back social media to kind of the beginning.
Okay.
Where you can, when you ask your friends and your family and your customers and everyone for a referral, that's one thing. But just in general, asking your social media followers for a referral is something you should do as well.
Yeah, good point.
Right? So just simply put, hey, if you like what I make, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Share it online. Click the share button below and share this to your followers. It'd be a huge deal to me. I'd love that. And you can tie it into your referral program that you'll do something, but you could also just ask. You don't always have to give something in return if you don't have that up or ready, or it doesn't make sense for your business. I also there's little hacky hokey things that you can do in social media that I don't mind. Tag a friend that would look great in this hat.
Oh yeah.
Tag somebody who would love a custom mug like this.
Right. Tag
somebody who's obsessed with mugs, right. And you could ask people to tag friends and things like that. And it's a little gimmicky and fun, but it works. Yeah. It works because it's a little bit of a game. Somebody's like, oh yeah, I know my friend Maria, obsessed with mugs.
So it's true. It's probably the last way to grow your business organically on social media, or at least on Facebook.
Mhm.
is to physically actually ask people to tag their friends or come up with a clever way, like you just described, to get them to share.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram and Facebook, even TikTok. It's all good for that type of stuff.
Yep.
People love that. And then I think, yeah. I mean, and then of course, the last bit is a note. It's kind of what I said before about it. I just wanted to be more specific about it. Is that you tell your followers why you're asking for a referral, and then ask them for it. Honesty is beautiful and it works.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow my business. You follow me for a good reason. Please refer me to other people. It'd be a huge deal, and I'd super appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Man, I love that. You could, hey, you know what? Listen, I've got a slow week next week. I'd really like to fill it up with custom t-shirt orders or custom mug orders or something like that. Share this right now if you know somebody that needs to place an order.
Yep. So social media is great. I mean, the level one is always going to be friends, family, business partners, customers, but kind of which, by the way, so your social media followers, a percentage of those people will be those people, right?
Of course. Yeah.
A percentage of them are going to be your friends and your family and your customers, and a percentage of them are going to be strangers. So this is an opportunity to kind of get those strangers or just those social media friends that you haven't met in real life to maybe do something for you.
Yep. I love that.
So a couple more things to mention. You had made a good note here about making it easy for customers to refer friends and family.
Yeah.
By having like a link or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a customer the other day who is going to start a particular program. And we just started talking about, like, okay, where on the website are you going to send people? Is there something specific? And really it seems so general, which is fine. If you're just got a general kind of, hey, friends and family, send people to my website, they'll buy stuff. I'll be happy. You'll be happy. Everybody will be happy. They'll love the stuff, versus having some kind of a structured program. If you're going to do something on social media that I mentioned, where you are actually going to do the, refer somebody that buys a jacket from me and I'll give you a hat, then the best thing that you can do is make it obvious to the people that are going to get that link, what they're supposed to do. So in other words, on the motorcycle jacket thing, then you might have it linked to a page that says motorcycle referral program. Here you go. Here are the jackets that you can buy. Pick one of these hats for your friend. Which hat do you think your friend would like? Place your order. So they're not having to, it's very quick and it's very easy, and they're not having to kind of like pick around the site to find the right information. Yeah.
That's really good. And you could also put on this page, put the name and phone number here on this, put the name and phone number of who you referred you right here. So I can contact them to give them their free coupon or their free hat or a thank you, whatever that might be. Also in general, if you want referrals electronically, internet world referrals, you have to make sure that it's easy. The hardest part about a referral in general, especially in electronic world today, is somebody says, I know somebody, they say the name, and then what can happen in this dark referral world is somebody picks up their phone and they're looking for you. Oh, embroidery shop. What's the name of the shop? I think it's like Embroidery by Gus or something. Oh, there's Gary's Embroidery. Is that it? Yeah. So you could provide people, a QR code that they can save somewhere. You put a link. Yeah. You put a link in the signature of your email that says, hey, forward this link to your friends. Have a specific page that you can just tell them that's really easy for them to remember. Yeah, if you want to refer somebody, super easy way to get a nice, friendly way, it's garysembroidery.com/referral. And if you could write that down, remember that, share that with people when they land on there, it's going to say, hey, thanks for being referred. I'll make sure I give anybody who comes in from that page white glove treatment because I love referrals.
Yeah, that's great. I also like the idea, if you do have an established or if you figured out a great referral program that motivates people, is to have a link on your website where people can kind of sign up to be a referrer.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like at the top, it's almost like becoming an affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go to some websites, either in the footer or at the top, they're like, become an affiliate, which basically means you get commissions when you refer people. You know, so kind of the same thing. You know, do you know a lot of people? You know, refer program. Learn how you can make money by buying t-shirts. You know, things like that. You could have a link on the top of your website that goes there, and you may have people that make that page attractive and give them that link that's easy to share. So they've got one place to go. Where they can learn about the referral program, they can figure out what they're going to get for referring you, and here's a link that you're going to share.
Yeah, I all this stuff is just, it's more than what 90% of folks are going to do out there.
99.5.
Yeah. You know, most of them out there, most of them, when you ask how they get referrals, how they grow by word of mouth, what do? Nothing.
Right.
That's most people, and they grow their businesses by doing nothing. They just get the word of mouth, which I love.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool that people you can get into business. It's very easy to refer. But if you actively are doing some little things, then you can double, triple, quadruple the referrals you get. You're not in a business where you have to take every referral you get and do what they want to do. You get to you get to pick and choose, because you have an abundance of business coming in, and where you get to say, no, we don't really do that kind of stuff, but I know somebody else, and you're growing a referral network.
Yeah.
You know, you're the referrer, you know. So it's really, it's a beautiful thing. And I think that there's one final thing to wrap up for referrals.
You know what? I'd like to squeeze something in.
Squeeze it in.
Squeeze it in. And that is, make fantastic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
just
make
good
fantastic things. Like if you do the best custom mug, if you take care to provide the crispest embroidery or the highest quality blanks, if somebody gets something amazing that they love from you, they will talk about it and give you referrals, provided you have a tag.
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't forget.
No, you're right. People absolutely love good stuff and telling people about good stuff. That's how we started off this podcast, right? Is a really funny show. You tell people. A really good restaurant. You tell people. If somebody has a polo that they bought from an old company before, and that person took this connects like 9 episodes together, right? But they got a polo from someone else before. It really wasn't very good quality. The person asked for the cheapest one, so the person gave them the cheapest one. They gave them no option to upsell and get them something better. But your business did something different. You talked to him about it, and you said, yeah, I see you want refresh. You see how the collar on your polos, you don't like that. Yeah. You see how the logo's fuzzy, you don't like that. That's why you're getting new ones now. We can do something better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what's really cool about that is that when you deliver that really beautiful product that they're proud to wear, they're just going to be happy to tell people about it.
Yeah.
It's really just facts.
That's not that one's not a secret.
Yeah.
Right.
I
think we're on track for the last one, which is say thanks.
Yeah. Say thanks. It's one of the most beautiful things you could do. Say thanks. How do you say thanks? Let's give them some good tips.
So there are a few. The first one is you could actually send people a thank you card, or put a thank you card in the package when you send them their gift product for referring someone, right? So if you have somebody that refers another customer, I mean, man, pick up the phone and tell them how much you appreciate the business, because it makes a big difference to you, personally and in business when somebody recommends you. So if you can express that on a personal level, as well as whatever kind of reward that you're offering, I mean, that's just going to go a huge way to get more referrals from that person again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just like, we wrote down a few things to make sure we cover them, right? Send a thank you card in the mail.
Yeah.
Yes. A stamp. It's someone's going to love it.
I think ColDesi still does that.
I don't know. Don't send it to one of those people who's like ultra like hates using paper.
Oh, I don't know any of those people. They're not.
No, that's because you live in Florida.
It's right.
Yeah, and you're over 50.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
But if you are in an area where people hate paper, then yeah, you probably have to do it via email. But I personally think everyone loves the card. People really do love cards. Even people who hate paper still give birthday cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unless you're the most ultra of people, maybe don't do that. But send cards in the mail. It's really going to be appreciated. If it's a big enough client and a good enough referral, and you don't have a program, send a gift.
Yeah.
Send some chocolates, send a bottle of wine.
Send an unexpected gift. I had a vendor send me a like a little drone. Like a little consumer thing drone.
Cool.
That I just, I mean, I'm not going to use it. So I gave it away. Somebody could give it to their kid for a birthday, but what a cool gift. And it was a neat idea. And I remember them.
Yeah. You can send what you do too. You can send a hat or a shirt, especially if they're already a customer and their size and what they like, you can make them an extra shirt, you can send them maybe there's something you've wanted to sell them that you haven't been able to sell them before. Like maybe it's maybe they've never bought hats. They bought shirts and polos with logos, or they bought mugs and mouse pads with logos or signs, but they never bought hats, and you offer that. So you make them a hat and you send it to them. Hey, thanks. And here's a hat with your logo on it. It might just turn into a sale too.
Yeah.
Which I think is fun about that too.
Yeah.
But anything works. You could send a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts via email. I mean, there's anything you can do, any gesture, and you have to determine what the appropriate gesture is based on what they did. But I think that stuff is it's a dying art that was very, very important not that long ago.
Yep. So I think this all kind of this all deserves you getting out a sheet of paper or opening up a blank document on your computer and kind of mapping out what you want to do and how you want it to go. So, for example, you're going to work on your word of mouth. You're going to develop a friends and family plan. You're going to write down the kinds of things that you say, maybe. You're going to make sure that every time that you post on Facebook or wherever you post, that you're going to, one time you're going to tag somebody. Next time you're going to ask people to share. Next time you're going to do X, Y, and Z. And then the next thing is you're going to develop like a page on your website. If you've got one that's just either about becoming part of a referral program or, a little featuring the product that you want or a product that you want people to refer to make it easy. You're going to develop the skills to get a free QR code to make it easy to share these things in person. And then how are you going to say thank you and when?
Yeah. And I think it's great. I mean, I whatever you do, call them, email them, you've just be sure to say thanks. However big or small the gesture is, it's very important. And I think that the better the client, the bigger the gesture should be.
Yeah, agreed.
If it's a good friend of yours and they sent you a really amazing client, let me take you and your wife out to dinner this weekend. Yeah. I know. I don't have to do it. I know I don't have to do it, but it meant a lot to me. It was really important, and it's going to be good for my business. And we're friends anyway. We were going to go out to dinner, let me just pay for it. I mean, that anything like that works. I think the most important thing, in my opinion, of this whole podcast is do what is right for your business style, the type of customers you attract, your brand. So you mentioned, motorcycle gear, and I think a hat is probably appropriate for that, that industry. It's pretty. They probably aren't going to be excited about a coupon,
right?
I just don't. I mean, they might be a big couponer group, but I'm going to guess not. But at getting a hat handed to them, with a logo or design, I think is cool. Probably something they're really going to like.
Yeah.
If you're not very digitally savvy and you don't really have a website or anything like that, don't try to get caught up in stuff about, how am I going to make a web page with my referral program?
Right.
You don't. You write it down, you print it out on a card, you email it to people, you text it. Yeah. You just say it out loud.
Right.
So find what matches for you. I think that's what's really important. If it's genuine, if it matches for you, and if you physically do the work, you will get easily double the referrals quickly.
Yeah. And what I love about it is, even if you don't do anything and you just remember what we talked about here today, and you ask the next 10 people at random, if they know anybody that's interested, then your business will be a little bit better. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I can't wait to for somebody to refer this podcast to somebody else.
Hey, so let's make a contest. If you refer this podcast to 10 people and 2 of them listen to it,
okay,
we will you let us know and we will email you and say thank you.
I wish if I planned for this, we could have had like a cool landing page to send people to, and referrals. We didn't plan this.
We don't even consistently ask people to share the podcast or anything.
We try to do it though.
I mean, we do, but not every time.
You know what? All of this stuff is great, and we're not perfect at it. Your business is not going to be perfect at it. Nobody is, but I think that so many people don't even try. Just the fact that you try means you're going to do better than anybody else. So go for it. And please refer this podcast to folks in the customization business. We're from ColDesi.com. If you haven't heard of us before, so you can check out the website, and we have all types of customization equipment and printers, embroidery machines. From if you want to print a hat to a guitar, we've got a machine for it, and just about everything in between, and then all the blanks and supplies at colemanandcompany.com. But this podcast is a free resource, and it doesn't just fall into this industry that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this stuff falls into tons of small business stuff. So please be sure to share it with a friend.
Hey, thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Custom Apparel Startups Podcast, and Mark Stevenson
and Mark Vila.
You guys have a fantastic referral-based business.